70%. Whereby what that means is you and me, if we behaved, drove properly, and observed all the traffic and road safety and traffic regulations, maybe 70% of them will not happen. Maybe the 10 people who die every day in road crashes will not die, will go back home to their families safe. You know, when the 70% is caused by careless and reckless driving, guess who dies most? Pedestrians and cyclists.
Bystanders who have nothing to do with whatever is going on.
That's your man. Yeah. Yeah, so I'm not so excited about the people that die. I'm excited about you and me, our contribution to making our roads safe.
So as I understand it, right now I'm not seated with Joseph Beyanga. I'm seated with Joe Walker.
Yes, sir.
How come?
So, Joe Walker, I mean, I started walking. Maybe I should tell you just briefly how I started walking. I was feeling some pain right in the back, and I went. All the doctors did all the tests and did everything, and everybody would tell me,
bacterial infection?
No. By the way, this time nobody said any single infection.
Yeah.
All they would give me painkillers. But the painkillers, when I would take them, the pain would increase.
Oh dear.
Then my father-in-law just said, you know, there is a guy we used to work with him. He's now retired, but he's doing small practice at his home. Check him out. And I went him and I met with him, and he told me, he checked, you know, originally it was suspected maybe one of the bones is out of shape or something. The guy did all the tests, he's an orthopedician, did all the tests, he said, young man, all your bones look fine. Yeah, he called me young man, I'm turning 45. All your bones look fine, you are fine, you don't have a problem. Maybe you just need to walk. Have you ever been a sportsman? I'm like, no, not sports. Have you ever been very active? I'm like, I've never been docile or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe just try walking, it may help. Then I started walking, 1 step, 2 steps. The first 2 kilometers were very hard. By the way, I'm not talking about like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
And no, end
this
of
is
September.
recent.
End of September.
Oh, wow.
The first steps were on 26th of September. And then I started walking. Then from struggling with 2 kilometers, I went to 4, 5, 6. When I called him back, he called him Professor. I said, Professor, I did 6. He said, hey, young man, slow down, slow down. You may now trigger an advanced reaction. But when I started walking, the pain went. And I've not felt that pain again. But then I started now, I stepped into overdrive, so to say, from 8 kilometers. Then on Twitter, there's this group of guys who run, you know, there's a guy, Robert Kapshenga, we call him the headmaster. So it became like a group, and you know, we in a group and we chat, everybody shares how they are doing. Yeah. I saw guys posting 35 kilometers. 30, 20, I'm like, hey. So we met at Raymond Mujuni's wedding face to face, and I showed Kapshenga. That day I had done 8 kilometers. I said, I've done 8. He said, go and make it 10. I was like, so it means
bigger challenge.
I started spending more time on the road, where I made it 10. When I made it 10, I went for 15 and onwards and onwards. But the more time I spent walking on the roads, the more things I saw that were happening on the road. If you are out walking during prime time, it's a miracle you go back home without witnessing an accident. And this is pedestrians, kids crossing the road, an old lady crossing the road. Then I went back and started reading. You know, in the news we cover accident here, accident there, but we don't get to understand what it means.
Experience.
And even witness. So I went back and I read beyond the figures. And you actually realize that the highest percentage of people affected by accidents is the age group of 25 to 35 in Uganda. That's the most productive age. Most of us have finished school, we are starting out in life, boom. Road crash takes that person. And then you look at the numbers, it's 10 people. Average of 10 people dying in an accident, but it's not 10. 10 are the ones who die. When you look at the average size of a household in Uganda, it's 6 people. Most of the time, these people who are walking are the ones who are out to take care of their families, provide for their families. So when the breadwinner is gone, what happens to the other 6, the other 5 who stay home? you see the impact of the accident. Then I kept reading on, and I got more information. There are people who are like a center of excellence, the guys at ACME who have studied accidents for the last 10 years, you know, from the police reports and all that. Then I had on the last Road Safety Week from the Minister of Transport, General Katumbo Wamala. Accidents cost us 5% of our GDP. 5% of our GDP.
That's a big number.
I'm like, something has to be done. And what is it that needs to be done? It's you and me. If we did change our behaviors on the road, drove carefree, that 70% of road crashes would go away.
Creating the awareness that is needed.
That the power, literally the power is in your hands. The way you sit on your car and you are driving, the power to stop those senseless road crashes is in your hands. Next, you are seated on your car, you are driving, think twice. The power is in your hands. I remember the words of my driving instructor when I was getting my driving permit in 1999, 2000. He told me, when you are driving, young man, you are not driving your car. You are driving the car ahead of you, the car on your left, the car on your right, the car behind you, and all the people on the road. You are in charge. So when you go driving, don't think about yourself. Don't think, oh, I need to rush. You know, the guys who come and create other lanes and they are rush. It's not about you. Life is not about, if life is about you, then you can do that in your bathroom. That is if you are staying in the house alone. But if you stay with other people, you can't go to the bathroom and it's about you. You think of the next user. Yeah. It's the same story. So when you're on the road, think about other people. So I thought, so from the walking, I started feeling, you know, I remembered back in the days, every day these guys who are out, who are trying to make ends meet. I remembered my father in 1945 with his brother. They walked all the way from Bushenyi to Buganda to make ends meet. Not all, they used to come in groups. Not all of them that left Bushenyi arrived Buganda. Others died because of natural causes, others diseases, others were eaten by animals.
Because of safety. And Mr. Joe Walker...
And those are the animals which are eating us every day. Indeed.
And Mr. Joe Walker, because we are running out of time, I'm being told by my producer, running out of time. When do you start the walk, and how do you intend to create the awareness that is needed?
The walk
in just 1 minute.
The walk starts on 28th of Feb, which is Monday. Next week, we start off at Monitor Publications, where you work from, and we go all the way up to Masaka. We'll make stops along the way, and the stops will be for purposely to create awareness, interact with the road users, interact with the stakeholders, the policy makers, do some road safety activities, zebra painting, zebra crossing. We have Prascon is coming on giving us the paint. We are working with UNRA, identifying the spots for us. We have Vivo, which is supporting the team that is moving. We have Coca-Cola with the Renzori giving people water to make sure people are refreshed along the way. We have Tugende, which surprised us most of the number of the highest number of motorcycles on the road coming on board. All people are coming on board saying, hey, come on, we can do something about this.
Be part of the cause.
And you who can't be part of the cause, who is at home, I know time is gone, you can stay in Kampala, you join the Joe Walker Challenge.